Sometimes we just have to be able to experiment with things to see like what they will be like. So I'm eager to take that back to Cleveland and other parts of the country where I'm talking to folks about what's possible.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
The role of community development is not just about what do they call it, bricks and sticks. It's not just about the physical development. It's not just about restoring facades. It could be the role of the CDC to introduce a lifelong resident or reintroduce a lifelong resident to their city.
Going back to the story that you had about sitting on Phelps, last night having dinner with mom and dad, would you say that community development is succeeding here in Youngstown?
I think so. I think community development but really it felt like an outcome of important collaboration. Because it's not just community development, it's community development, it's government, it's the private sector, it's the citizens and residents themselves coming out, right, and wanting to be in their downtown and fellowshipping and spending money. So definitely a community development success, because you got to get those buildings and restore those buildings, and I imagine that the community development department had things to do with it, but it was really special. It was really cool. So kudos to everybody involved. We have to be able to demonstrate to the community what's possible, right? Like if we take away 30 parking spaces, look what we can do, right? You can come out and have a really affordable meal with your family and on a beautiful October evening and see all different types of people just being together, right? And enjoying themselves. So it was special, and it was especially special to be with my parents who are lifelong residents, and for them to reflect on a segregated Youngstown where they had to use side doors and back doors and things like that in their lifetime, to be able to sit out, and have a nice meal on the street was really special.
What are some things that you're hoping to take that you learn from this conference back up to Cleveland?
I'm a Youngstown girl, so I can't get through too many conversations without talking about being from Youngstown. And I think one of the things that I'm often talking about is the sort of humility and kind of persistence and stick-to-itiveness that Youngstown has. I grew up in the 80s, or born in the 80s, so grew up in the 80s and 90s in a time where all people were talking about was what Youngstown had been. And so myself and my contemporaries roamed these what felt like ghostly streets, of how amazing downtown used to be and our neighborhoods used to be. And so I think that Youngstown, because of its humility and stick-to-itiveness, you can kind of just shutter the doors and move on, right? Talk about annexation, and you could be radical in that way. But I think that Youngstown is serving as an example that people have pride in place, that people are willing to do the work of revitalization, which is not easy. People are willing to imagine a very different reality, present and future, than the one that they may have seen their whole lives. People are willing to invest. People are willing to come and spend their money. So I think that taking that back, seeing that two parts of the street are going to be closed with a middle thoroughfare open to car traffic was wow, this is cool. You can do this, right? And I think some cities and communities are still struggling with what will the backlash be if we close the street or we shut these things down. And so sometimes we just have to be able to experiment with things to see what they will be like. So I'm eager to take that back to Cleveland and other parts of the country where I'm talking to folks about what's possible.
Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications. And also make sure to connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. For all of your business news, visit BusinessJournalDaily.com. For all of your arts and entertainment news, go to AfterHoursYoungstown.com.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.